This is relentless fighting.
But Bud the best fighter in boxing too. Make sure y'all let that be known.
Canelo?
Yeah.
Bud the best fighter in boxing. If Canelo is at his weight, I'm telling y'all now, Bud will beat Canelo.
What do you
stand on that.
Skills pay the bills, right? Skills always paid the bills, not size. Remember that Terence Crawford lets everybody know that he's coming for Canelo and that skills pay the bills. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button for your boy. I've been thinking about doing another fans perspective series, but I'm not quite sure who we're going to do it with. And when we do those, we need to have almost an equal amount of people rooting for that particular fighter. Like with Errol Spence and Crawford, we had a group of Spence fans, we had a bunch of Spence guys and a bunch of Crawford guys. But for now, what are we gonna do, right? Are we gonna have a bunch of Crawford guys versus a bunch of Canelo guys, a Crawford guys, versus Charlo guys, a bunch of Canelo guys versus a bunch of Charlo guys? So you guys tell me what you guys want to do. I want to do another fans perspective, but I don't know with who. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But Terence Bud Crawford, man, I've been noticing that he's been out here, right? As we all know, he's been out here. He's been doing his thing. He's been his media tour. He's been here. He's been there. He's been everywhere, right? But a lot of people seem to believe it's because of PBC, right? And I don't want to necessarily give all the credit to PBC, right? Because I got to give Terence Crawford some credit, because I remember years ago, right? And let me just start back from the beginning real quick, because I've been seeing people saying that Top Rank didn't do this and Top Rank didn't do that. I give Top Rank credit as well, because what Top Rank failed at was them not having the opponents for Crawford at 147 pounds. Prior to that, it was no problems. Prior to that, Terence Crawford is one of the most viewed fighters on television. Whenever he fought, he has the highest viewership. When he fought Benavidez, he got the most views for that year, right? Most viewed fight that year. So Terence Crawford was doing good with Top Rank, contrary to what they like to say, contrary to popular belief. But it's just that when he got to 147, he didn't have the names, you know, he didn't have the names. Top Rank didn't have those names. And of course, Bob Arum got frustrated. And, you know, based off what we heard from Crawford talking about the business, he probably was pissing him off because he got a little bit more educated about the business of boxing. And Bob Arum and those guys don't want you knowing what's going on, right? They don't want you knowing what's going on. And Terence Crawford started to wise up a little bit about the business. It was more than him just taking a check and fighting. He wanted to know where all the money was going. We've seen the interview, right? We've seen a clip of him talking about that. But I think it's an effort from Crawford as well. Now, not to mention, not to take nothing away from Showtime. I think they did an excellent job promoting that fight, selling that fight, and really, really getting it out there. But as far as Al Heyman and these guys doing all this and promoting Crawford, Al Heyman and them didn't want nothing to do with Terence Bud Crawford prior to this fight even happening, bro. They didn't even want nothing to do with him. They was downplaying him, talking about his numbers, his viewership. So now all of a sudden, right? Now all of a sudden, they nah, bro, we ain't doing that. This is Terence Crawford. He's an independent fighter out here doing his thing. He's out here doing the leg work. He came out of his comfort zone. He came out of his bubble and became more of a people person and more accessible doing these interviews. Because years ago, Terence Crawford didn't even like to do interviews. Years ago, Terence Crawford didn't even like to do interviews for real, bro. He didn't even like to do interviews. He didn't want to talk, none of that. And if you listen to what his nephew said, video I had with Travion on a panel, he said that Bud matured over the years. He said that Bud Crawford matured. He said he thinks his uncle is maturing because before he didn't really like to do all this stuff, but now he's opening up to it, doing these interviews and just being a little bit more accessible to the people, right? So I don't want to give all the credit to Al Heyman. You know, people like to really just insert Al Heyman in the mix, and I'm not saying Al Heyman don't do his thing, but we can't just give him full credit. I think it was a collective effort. And now at 35 years old, Terence Crawford finds himself in a very, very good position. It took a long time, and it probably could have happened sooner. Maybe if he hadn't re-signed and went straight to PBC years ago, right? Maybe it could have happened sooner if he was able to get those fights, because that's all Terence Bud Crawford was missing. That's all he was missing was the marquee fights, bro. This is just something that I've been seeing people been talking about amongst the Canelo thing, right? People don't think Crawford could actually do it. They don't think he could actually do it. I think Bud Crawford could do it. I think Bud could do it. Move up to 168 pounds and fight Canelo. Not everybody on 168, so let's not get it twisted, right? But a guy like Canelo who's 5'8" with a 70-inch reach, only thing he has over Crawford truly is the weight, right? I think that's something Crawford could kind of deal with, me personally. You know, Floyd Mayweather was able to deal with it, and I feel like Crawford is cut from the same cloth as a fighter like Floyd. This is why you see the comparisons, prime Crawford versus prime Mayweather. This is why you're seeing all this. I think that'd be good for Bud, because it'd be one of those things to where we seen Floyd Mayweather at the end of his career fight Canelo, kind of when Canelo was kind of really getting things started, right? Canelo's already going, but he really got things started after the Floyd fight. And now Canelo's somewhat towards the end, and Crawford kind of at the end too. But Crawford is going to be potentially, you know, fighting Canelo as well. It'll be interesting to see if Canelo can fight both of these dudes, man. You know, you have to get Canelo. Canelo will probably go down as a great, regardless. You know, especially if he get a Crawford on his resume. You have Floyd Mayweather, Terence Crawford. I mean, his resume would be ridiculous then. I mean, but whatever the case, Crawford's name is being mentioned amongst the all-time greats. You got a lot of guys saying that he can't beat Canelo. He's going to get knocked out. I think if we learned anything about Bud Crawford is that don't count the guy out. Don't count out a guy like him. You know, now if he was going up against a Dave Morrell or something like that, then I could understand. But Canelo, he's a small guy in comparison to a lot of those dudes that are 168 pounds. So I don't know, man. We go see. But Terence Crawford, man, I don't all this stuff about Al Heyman and PBC promoting Crawford. I don't. You ask Terence Crawford who's been doing all this, setting up these meetings, because he's been actually going to the Breakfast Club and all these other platforms, the Sway Universe, and all these other platforms. He's been going to them platforms even when he was with Top Rank. But we just seen him do it more and more frequently now and do more interviews now. So, and Terence Crawford's doing what he's got to do, right? But what does this leave Jermell Charlo? Jermell Charlo has essentially almost got taken out of the equation ever since his WBO stripping. Now, I don't think they should strip Jermell at all by any means. I think that's ridiculous. But let's see what Jermell got to say.
Boyd said that he's open to moving up to 154. Right. He wants to beat you, then hang up the gloves. So how does it feel to be looked at as his retirement fight, so to speak?
Well, you know, move up to 154 or wherever I'm at that time. Let's make something happen. I'm down. Let's fight. You know me. If you do know me, you know I'm a dog. I'm gonna come in there and do what I do best. You know.
He gets so nervous and anxious whenever Crawford's name is brought up. I don't even know. He should be used to it by now. He should be expecting the Bud Crawford questions, and he should be prepared and a little bit more comfortable talking about it, but he's just not comfortable talking about Bud. But I do believe, despite all that, right, it's just fun watching it, but I do believe that Jermell will get in the ring with Bud Crawford, 100%. I do believe that.
I'm one of the most solid 154 pounders that there is, so if I got to go back down to 154 and we put on some mega fight for the world, let's do it.
Well, you confirming that you definitely, after Canelo, regardless of the outcome, yes, you're coming down to 154.
I want to fight Bud. I want what the world want. I want that shit. I want the mix up. I want my boy to get his rematch. And that's what he gonna do. And he stay and he come back.
Jermell is huge.
And maybe he washes Bud out the way, and then maybe a trilogy. This just might be talks right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, but what if you had the opportunity, like if you come back down to 154 and he's looking at the options like either rematch with Errol or fight Jermell Charlo? I mean, brother, you would push for your fight instead.
Just like I gotta get in there and do whatever I gotta do with Canelo. I'm gonna get in there and do whatever I gotta do with Bud Crawford. That don't make a difference. Hey, I'm a fighter. I'm here for this. I'm a warrior. I gotta go grind. That's what it's about.
And I do believe Jermell Charlo will get in there with Bud. 100%. I don't doubt it in my mind. It's just fun watching his reaction. It just seemed like whenever Bud name is brought up, he should be prepared for it. But it seemed like they about to say Candyman for the 5th time. Don't say it. Don't do it. You know, that's just the energy he brings. But I do believe, despite all that Jermell will fight Bud Crawford. I do believe that.
You know, Canelo and Jermell is fighting. I wanted to fight Jermell next, since he was the 154-pound undisputed champion. But as you know, they're gonna strip him for his belt once the bell ring when he fight Canelo.
So your goal was to go up and become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
There you go.
Wow.
A lot of people don't think he could do it, man. Some people don't think he could do it. I think he could do it. I think he could do it. If it's a guy like Canelo, you know? If it's a guy like Canelo.
Something that never been done before.
Right.
And, you know, it's greatness. Like I said, this is my era, and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. So now I didn't shift gears, because I know I wanted to fight Jermell, but if he lose to Canelo, I always said, man, that's a big step. That's a big step. But for a person to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 in a win, and become undisputed, wow. What can they say? They can't say nothing right now, but what can they say?
Well,
Bud is still out to shut people up, bro. I think that's what really drives Terence Crawford is the thrill of the challenge. Okay, they say people seem to believe that I could beat Jermell. You know, a lot of people see, but nobody don't think I could beat Canelo. Let me go out to Canelo. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, I love the challenge of that, the risk of that. Ooh, he's 168 pounds and he punching hard. Yeah, he loved the challenge of that, bro. See, a lot of dudes, excuse my French, right? Excuse my French, but it's really, really soft today. And so guys can't fathom that there's still guys out there that's willing to take chances and take risk and be brave and be men. You know, a lot of dudes can't fathom it. They just can't get behind it. It's just crazy. He just can't do it. But I'm all in for it. I'm all in for it. Because if I believe that any fighter can go up 3 weight classes and beat a guy like Canelo, it's Terence Crawford.
And then you're in like the greatest of all time discussion.
I'm already in them discussions.
Are.
But I'm saying, but what would they say though? 3-time undisputed champion and the smaller fighter that went up 3 weight divisions to conquer one of the baddest mans besides himself that's been doing it for probably longer than me. That's a big step. Hey,
Crawford wants to do it. I think Canelo will entertain it, right? I think Canelo will definitely entertain it because, I mean, it could be it's a huge fight. It'll probably be the biggest fight in boxing, without a doubt. And then he don't gotta deal with guys like Benavidez and Dave Morrell. He could fight Terence Crawford, probably just right off to the sunset. Vice versa, Terence Crawford could fight Canelo and then just right off to the sunset. If he beats Canelo Alvarez, he'll be surefire a top 5 all-time great fighter. And I think this is what Terence Crawford is trying to achieve. So yeah, man, we go have some live discussions about this, right? But I'm gonna get you guys' thoughts on it. Do you guys want to do a fan's perspective on Crawford Canelo, Crawford Charlo? Let me know. Also, all this stuff about Crawford being promoted and PBC they did a phenomenal job promoting the Spence Crawford fight. But prior to that, they didn't want nothing to do with this dude. Prior to that, they act like he couldn't sell out a family diner. That was the energy. So we can't do that now. We got to get all the credit to Terence Bud Crawford and his team for getting out here and doing his thing. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.